I figured today I would go for the very informal video blog route. And when I mean informal, I mean I didn't even plan to do one today. And also, as you can see, I just got done working out, walking in the rain. So here I am. And the thing I wanted to talk about today is this idea of failure in relationships. How we might look at having failed relationships, or somehow I failed in the relationship or they failed. But either way, it's this energy around something was wrong, broken, fucked it up somehow. And I bring this up because I just recently went through a transition with my partner, Bob, and we chose to separate from romantic relationships. Like, we were totally build a life together partners, and we decided to end that part of our relationship. And it brought up a lot of stuff because I love him so much, and we definitely, in so many ways, we fit, we work, we have a business together, we have podcasts together, and yet there were some, as we would say, little big things that weren't working, or didn't allow us to connect in the way that we wanted to. And regardless of the reason for that, even if it makes so much sense, like logically for us it made sense, and it makes sense why we would have this time apart, there's a lot of personal exploration he needs to do, which made me realize there's a lot I need to do. I didn't even realize that until being with him. And so we can see all the ways that this is such a great, expansive move, and we're still so loving and supportive of each other, and really intentionally want to support each other through this next chapter. And it's still hard, and it still brings up stuff around my longing. Like, I really long for a husband. It took a lot for me to even come to that place, to admit that part to myself, because it just, all the stigma around marriage. But I realized, like, I really do want that. I want more than I want a commitment that feels to me deeper than a long-term partnership. And so that was my, like, aha vision. Like, this is what I'm striving for. And so to feel like I was building that with him, and then realizing this isn't the right time, because it wasn't about us not wanting the same thing. It's just he wasn't at a place for it. I was kind of like a little bit further ahead in the road. So it brings up this thing of like, wow, did I get into another relationship where I didn't get what I wanted? And how did I miss this? Like, I really thought we were going that route, or I really thought he was the person for me. And it brings up all these things around how I messed up somehow. And that's so the farthest from the truth of this relationship. And that's what I was talking about with my friend and client today. Like, is there really such a thing as a failed relationship? Because we're always learning and growing. We're always learning something. If I hadn't have had that experience, I wouldn't have that information. I wouldn't have that tool. I wouldn't have that knowing about myself and what I want. They all give us something. And so is it really failed? And then this place where I'm honoring myself, I'm honoring our love by saying, this isn't working for us. Like, we need something different in our relationship so that we each feel like we're getting what we want and what we need. And that's love. Like, that's the ultimate form of love. Like, letting go like that is the ultimate form of love, if that's what's called for. Not necessarily because letting go itself is ultimate, but even when you're in a committed relationship, like when you let go of the expectations of what the relationship is supposed to be, like it will then have the room to become what it needs to be. We're taking that death grip off. And so, like, that white knuckling kind of approach. And And so that's what it feels like on the other end. Like this failure piece isn't failure. It's really opportunities. Each one is an opportunity. Each one is a blessing. And it's hard to see that in the moment, but you can hold both. Like, that's the thing. I love and I hate Bob. Like, there are times where I just am so in love with him. And then the times where I feel like he either pushes a button of mine or something he does. And just those feelings come up too, but I don't make them wrong. Like, both are okay. And when you separate from someone, when you feel like your relationship has failed, it's because you're making the one part wrong. So what if both parts were right? What if both parts were okay? The part where, yeah, you hurt because you wanted something and you didn't get it. And the part that was the teaching tool, like it's teaching you and preparing you for that next relationship. You're going to have so much more information. It's going to be so much more amazing. You're a different person because of it. So holding both, the pain and the hurt, and also the opportunity and the love, like the greatest form of love there. So that's what I wanted to share with you, that I went through my own question into that. And it's still a process. Like, it's still a process. You know, we go in and out. Sometimes it's so much clearer, and sometimes it's not. And I am on the end. I am mostly on the end of, I'm really grateful for our relationship, and it really has inspired me and taught me so much. We've learned so much from each other and continue to do so. And even in this really intentional and loving transitioning out of our relationship, it's like, how is that a failed relationship? Like, we are bringing so much love and connection and honesty into everything that we do. Like, it honors the other person, and it honors connection, and definitely honors love, which that in the end I think is what we want most, love. And so here's a chance to practice love still. Love for him or her and you. Love for you too. Because it definitely took us having to forgive each other and forgive ourselves toward the end. So I just offer that as just a reminder to really look at what is honoring love. And if you're always honest and open and connected and present, is there ever a failure in a relationship? Like, they're all beautiful opportunities, lessons to grow. So from my learning heart to yours on how to reframe failure into beautiful, beautiful lessons. Hope you've gotten something out of this video, and thank you so much for being open to love and believing in love, because that's what I keep coming back to. Like, we're all in this because we want love. We really do. We want love. We want to feel loved. We want to receive love. We want to give love. And you can practice that every day. Like, every day you can practice that. Opening up to love in one way or another. And believing in its magic, because it is magical. I believe that to my core. It's why I do what I do. So, yeah, how can you open up to love today? In any way you can. Until next time. Natalie from NatalieTheCoach.com.